When Pippa started to mistrust her housekeeper Jackie, she put up a lot of cameras around the house without Jackie or her husband, Sem, knowing about it. Pippa was burning with rage after viewing the secret camera footage of Jackie. It confirmed her suspicions and worst fears. When Pippa told Jackie about the hidden cameras, the housekeeper's face went ghostly white. She knew that there was no way around it. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our upcoming stories. Jackie was doing such a great job that Sem and Pippa even recommended her to their friends and neighbors. She was with a family almost every day to clean up their house. A lot of the husbands seemed especially happy with her. But Sem didn't hire her for her looks. He didn't understand why his friends were so excited about Jackie. For him, no one was as beautiful as his wife. He had met Pippa in high school and they fell instantly for each other. They dated for about 7 years and have been married for 7 years. They never actually had their honeymoon because they were both too busy with work. But now that they have Jackie, Sem thought it was time for them to get away for a week. So they asked Jackie to stay in their home to care for their plants and cat as long as they were out, and she was happy to do so. Their honeymoon is in 2 weeks and everything is taken care of. But Pippa has heard some strange stories about Jackie, and she is starting to get doubts about her. She didn't want to tell her husband at first because she had assured him it would be fine. But now Jackie was going to stay in their house for a longer period of time. So before Pippa was ready to tell her husband, she wanted proof. Otherwise, Sem would brush it off and tell her not to worry. She told Sem she was heading to work a little later, but she actually hid in a closet and waited for Jackie to arrive. They had gotten in contact with some strange rumors that had been circulating about the young woman. They could probably easily find somebody else to do the job. He was very much against the idea of judging somebody on a series which they had no idea if they were even true in the slightest. As she was waiting in the closet, Pippa suddenly hears the key turn in the lock of the front door. Jackie arrived in the afternoon. Pippa found this a little strange because they paid Jackie from 10 o'clock. So she decided to get out of the closet to get a better look at what Jackie was doing. She heard a lot of noise from the kitchen, but when she looked around the corner, Jackie was only cleaning out the dishwasher. Pippa had never been home before during Jackie's cleaning hours. She had planned something for today, but canceled it. Sem and Pippa had always thought about security cameras, but they never went through with them. Now seemed the right time to get them installed anyway. She called a company and they told her they could come the following weekend. They installed the cameras in the kitchen, living room, laundry room, bedroom, and guest rooms. Almost every angle of the house was visible on camera except for the bathroom and some other corners. Pippa had asked them to make the cameras as invisible as possible. The couple wanted to make sure that she knew exactly what to do with their house when they were away. She went on her honeymoon with comfort, knowing that everything would be recorded, but Jackie had other plans. During the flight, Pippa noticed that she could think of nothing else than wanting to see the footage. Her curiosity as to what Jackie might be getting up to in her house was getting to worrying proportions, but when they arrived at their apartment, it turned out that the camera app didn't work yet. The first couple of days, Pippa just tried to push everything to the back of her mind. She knew that she would only have to wait a week more to discover what. Pippa felt at a loss and figured that the only way she could salvage this week was if she was honest to Sem about what she had been doing at their home. Maybe then he could take a little bit of weight off her heavy heart. And so she told Sem about the cameras. Sem wasn't happy with Pippa going behind his back to install those cameras. When Sem and Pippa returned home, they were very surprised by what they found. Pippa tried to look back at all the footage, but it didn't record anything because she had forgotten to connect the cameras to the app. Was still determined to find out what was going on with Jackie. Sem spent the evening with his friend while Pippa got a cheap hotel room and started stalking the cameras to see what Jackie was up to. While Sem was out drinking and partying with his friends, he didn't think about his wife for a second, but she didn't think about her husband either. They were both so focused on themselves. Hours passed and Pippa didn't look away from her iPad once. Her eyes started to burn and her tummy was rumbling. It was only a few minutes, but Pippa felt like she had missed hours of Jackie's moves. Pippa searched for Jackie through all the camera screens, but she was nowhere to be found. How is this possible? Pippa felt slightly panicked. What if Jackie had noticed the cameras? She called her neighbor to ask if she could look over the fence. To their surprise, nothing strange was happening in or around the house. Jackie wasn't even home anymore. Her car was gone. This frustrated Pippa, but she hid her feelings. She didn't even answer her texts or pick up her calls. Sem started to worry about his wife. He had tried to distance himself from the situation. Sem was so startled by his wife's behavior that he left the room without saying a word. He didn't know who his wife was anymore. Jackie had returned home, and something had changed about her. She held weird objects in her hand and paced nervously around the house. Jackie then went into the bathroom. Pippa didn't have cameras in there, so she couldn't see what Jackie was doing, but she kept track of the time Jackie came out of the bathroom 15 minutes later. This started Pippa's spiral. What could she possibly be doing in the bathroom for so long? Pippa stared at the screen in disbelief. How could someone they had trusted for so long with their house and their belongings betray them like that? She felt a rage growing inside her and she couldn't control herself anymore. After everything she had done, she had finally caught Jackie in the act. She finally knew what Jackie had been up to, and he needed his help to confront her. But confining her husband again was not as easy as she had hoped. But he wanted to give her one final chance. But if she was wrong again, then she would have to get help. Jackie had not expected Pippa home until tomorrow, and her boss demanded an explanation immediately. But Jackie was so shocked she couldn't speak. After a few minutes, it started to sink in with Jackie. She had been caught red-handed, but she didn't know her boss had proof, so she tried to talk herself out of it. Sem arrived minutes later. He had rushed home because of Jackie's call. He wanted to help her, but he was also worried that his wife would do something she would regret later. She was getting to a point where she might not be able to control her actions anymore. But Pippa had her proof ready. She had just waited with showing it until Sem arrived. She took her iPad out of her bag and showed Sem the footage, because Sem turned back to Jackie with an angry look on his face. "How could you?" he yelled at her. She still tried to explain, but Pippa and Sem knew everything was a lie. They showed Jackie the footage, and she turned as white as a ghost. She planned to sell everything for a lot of money to go to college. She had lied about going to Yale on her resume because she never had the money for it. She hugged Jackie and told her stealing was never an option, but they weren't going to the police. Instead, they did something unexpected. Pippa and Sem decided to sponsor Jackie so she could go to college. Jackie was very grateful for their kindness, and she stayed their housekeeper for a little bit until she got too busy with school. She later graduated and paid everything back to Pippa and Sem.